Students, let's begin the chapter The Colonisms and the Countrysides. Okay, company rule was established in Bengal. East India Company tried to reorder the rural society and establish new land rights and new revenue system. Company fixed the revenue system and each jamidar was supposed to pay the fixing of the revenue was done under permanent settlement in 1793. So the jamidar who failed to pay the revenue were, uh, you can see, their estate was auctioned to recover the revenue, but sometimes found that the purchaser at the auctions were the servants and the agents of the jamidar itself, as we saw in the auction in Burdwan. In the previous video, we discussed about the auction in Burdwan. So, here the new topic, the problems of unpaid revenue. So, what were the problems? By the 1770s, the rural economy of Bengal was in crisis with recurrent famines and declining agricultural output. तो आप 1770 के दशक तक आते आते बंगाल की जो ग्रामीण अर्थव्यवस्था थी संकट के दौर से गुजरने लगी थी, क्योंकि बार बार अकाल पड़ रहे थे और खेती की जो पैदावार थी वो क्या हो रही थी, घटती जा रही थी। ब्रिटिश अधिकारी सोचने लगे कि कृषि में अगर निवेश किया जाएगा तभी हमारा व्यापार बढ़ेगा, जिससे हमारा क्या होगा, राजस्व टैक्सेशन बढ़ेगा। ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर हम देखते हैं दिस कुड बी डन बाय सिक्योरिंग द राइट्स ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी and permanently fixing the rates of the revenue demand. Okay, तो ये you can see ऐसा तभी होगा जब हम क्या करेंगे, संपत्ति के अधिकार प्राप्त कर लेंगे और राजस्व मांग की जो दरें हैं वो स्थायी रूप से तय कर दें। तो अगर सरकार ये करती, ऐसा करती कि रेवेन्यू डिमांड को परमानेंटली फिक्स कर देगी, तो क्या होगा, रेगुलर इनकम क्या होगा, जनरेट होगा, और जो इन्वेस्टर है वो भी अपने जो कैपिटल उसने इन्वेस्ट किया है उसका एक लाभ कमाने की उसको उम्मीद कर सकता है। अगर परमानेंट टैक्स होगा तो राज्य क्या करेगा, लंबे समय तक धन की चोरी नहीं कर सकेगा या लाभ की राशि नहीं छीन सकेगा। अधिकारियों को विश्वास था कि इससे छोटे किसान, योमन और लैंड ऑनर, जमींदार का एक ऐसा वर्ग उत्पन्न हो जाएगा जिसमें कृषि में सुधार होगा, जिसमें हम देखते कैपिटल और एंटरप्राइजेस दोनों होंगे। अब कंपनी को एक ऐसा वर्क चाहिए था जो उनके लिए वफादार रहे। ठीक है, द प्रॉब्लम नाउ वॉज टू आइडेंटिफाई द इंडिविजुअल हु कुड बी लॉयल टू देम एंड हु कुड इम्प्रूव द एग्रीकल्चर एंड in contrast you can see in contract to pay the fixed revenue to the state. So after a prolonged debate amongst the company officials, the permanent settlement was made with the rajas and the talukdars of Bengal. They were now classified as jamidar and they had to pay the revenue demand that was fixed forever. Okay, now the definitions in terms of jamidar was not a landowner but a revenue collector of the state. So jamidar had several villages. Sometimes you can see around 400 villages under them. In company calculation, the villages within one jamidar formed one revenue estate. Now the company fixed the total demand of the over the entire estate whose revenue the jamidar contracted to pay. The jamidar collected rent from the different villages, paid the revenue to the company, and he was expected to pay the company regularly, and if he failed to pay, then the estate could be auctioned. Here comes why jamidar defaulted on payments. तो जमींदारी क्या हुआ, जो थे वो जो लगान देने में असफल क्यों रहे, है ना, वाई द जमींदार फेल टू पे द रेवेन्यू. सो यू कैन सी आफ्टर द परमानेंट सेटलमेंट द जमींदार ऑफन फेल टू पे द रेवेन्यू डिमांड्स and they had accumulated huge dues on them. Okay, so what was the reason for the failure? You can see first the initial demand of the revenue was very high. So this, if we talk about the initial demand of the revenue, this was very high because it was felt by the company that in the coming year the price will increase from land and cultivation expanded at that time. Company will not claim any share or profit of that increased income. Okay, to recover the loss of the company, then pegged the revenue demand high, and the burden on the jamidars would gradually decline as the price rise and increase in agricultural production. तो कंपनी को ये लगा कि अपने आने वाले समय में जब कीमतों में वृद्धि होगी तो खेती और उत्पादन दोनों बढ़ेगा, और उसमें क्या होगा, उनको उसका विस्तार जब होगा तो उनको लाभांश पर कंपनी का, जैसे जैसे उनका विस्तार होगा, प्रोटेक्शन बढ़ेगा, तो जो उसकी जो प्रॉफिट है उस पर कंपनी का कोई हक नहीं होगा, वो किसी तरह का कोई क्लेम नहीं कर सकती है। आने वाले समय में जो नुकसान उनको होने वाला है उसकी भरपाई वो उचित दर, लगान का उचित दर तय करके कर लेंगे। और जो जमींदार हैं उनको भी नुकसान नहीं होगा, क्योंकि कीमतें और उत्पादन दोनों ही बढ़ेगी, जिससे जमींदार भी अपने नुकसान की भरपाई आसानी से कर सकेगा। ओके, द सेकेंड here was the high demand was posed on 1790. It was the time of famine in Bengal and the price of agriculture produce was very low. It's difficult for the Rayat, here Rayat are the peasants, to pay their dues to the Jamidars. If the Jamidar could not collect the rent, how could he pay the company? Okay, third, the revenue was invariable regardless द हार्वेस्ट। मतलब क्या था कि जो लगान था उसकी दर असमान था, फसल अच्छी हो या बुरी, लगान चुकाने का जो समय सीमा थी वो सुनिश्चित थी। अकॉर्डिंग टू द सनसेट लॉ, जिस दिन आप देखते रेवेन्यू चुकाने का जो आखिरी दिन है उसमें सूर्यास्त तक अगर लगान नहीं चुकाया तो जमींदारी को नीलाम भी किया जा सकता था। फोर्थ, यू कैन सी हियर द परमानेंट सेटलमेंट इनिशियली लिमिटेड द पावर ऑफ द जमींदार टू कलेक्ट रेंट from Rayat and manage his Jamidari. So if we talk about the limitations of the power of the Jamidar, so you can see if the Jamidar, it's hold important position in the company, but the company wanted to control and regulate him. They wanted to control their authority and restrict their self-governing. So how they put control and restriction to the Jamidar, so that they work under the company rules. So the Jamidar troops were disbanded. Then you can see custom duties was abolished. Their kacheris or courts brought under the supervision of a collector appointed by the company. Then you can see Jamidar all the power to organize the local justice and the local police. Okay, over the time the collectorate, they emerged as an alternative center of authority and severely restricting what Jamidar could do. In one case where the Jamidars or the Raja failed to pay the revenue, a company official was sent immediately to the Jamidar with the clear instruction to take the charge of the district and to use the most effective means to you can see destroy all the influence of the Raja and take all the authority from the Raja and his officers. So at the time the rent was collected by an officer called the Amla, who worked under Jamidar, but rent collection was a permanent problem, the problem of the day that lasts for a long time. What were the problem here? Sometimes bad harvest and low prices made payments of dues difficult for the Rayat. At other time they purposely delayed payments. Okay, rich Rayat and village headmen, Jodhars and Mandals were only too happy to see the Jamidar in trouble. The Jamidar could not easily assert his power over them. Jamidar could take legal action against these defaulters, but the judicial process was long drawn. In Burdwan alone, there were over 30,000 pending cases for due of rent payment in 1798. So here you can see the rise of the Jodhar, a new group. Okay, you can see if you talk the Jodhar, they are the rich peasant. Okay, Jamidars were facing a crisis at the end of the 18th century. A group of rich peasants were consolidating their position in the village. So a survey done by Francis Buchanan on the district of Dinajpur in North Bengal, we had a clear pictures of rich peasant known as Jodhar. By the early 19th century, it has vast area of land. Sometimes they are having the area as much as several thousand acres. They controls, you can see, local trades and money lending, exercising immense power over the poor cultivators. Okay, a large part of the land was cultivated through sharecroppers who brought their own plough, labored in the field and handed over half the produce to the Jotdar after the harvest. Within the village, the power of the Jotdar was more effective than that of Jamindar, and they were located in the village and exercised their direct control over a poor villagers. If the Jamindar increased the jama or the taxes, okay, the Jotdar fiercely resist their effort. They prevent the officers of the Jamindar to execute their work, and those Rayat who were dependent on Jamindar keep them as their favor and delayed the payment of revenue intentionally. Okay, then you see, when the Jamindar failed to pay the taxes and the estate of the Jamindar were auctioned for failure to make revenue payment, Jotdar was often among the purchasers. So the Jotdar were most powerful in North Bengal. All the rich peasants and village headmen were emerging as powerful in the countryside in other part of Bengal as well. In some places they were called Havaldar, elsewhere they were called Gantidar or Mandal. The rise of this Jotdar and the village headmen inevitably weakened the authority of